Alright guys, we're going to go over real quick just a general video on what a shop diagnostic fee is. Why you couldn't be charged a shop diagnostic fee. And then I actually put out a poll earlier a few hours ago just to get a feel for what people had to say about a diagnostic fee. When you go to the dealer, there's a diagnostic fee. An independent shop, there's a diagnostic fee. And where this comment spanned from, even though there were a lot of people that made assumptions without actually knowing, is I'm also on TikTok, and there was a guy that stepped out and said, well, diagnostic fees are a rip-off. Yet I go to this guy's profile, and he's flying around in his plane, and he's an older gentleman that's probably well established, but yet he's talking about diagnostic fees being a rip-off. And in the last part of his comment, he said, when I can go to AutoZone and get my vehicle scanned for free. That's not a diagnostic fee that you would get from a shop or an independent shop. I can go out and hook up and get a PO 455 code present in your computer and say, hey, look, in order for me to actually know that this PO 455 code is the problem, I'm going to have to run an EVAP test. It could take about 10-15 minutes to do that. And then once I do that, I have to verify that what I think is the repair is correct. That could take me about another 10-15 minutes to do it. So total, you're talking about 30 to 40 minutes. I'll know for sure whether or not where I want to go with this is actually going to be where we need to be. Now, do I eat that 40 minutes that I just put into your vehicle to diagnose that problem? Because the scanner said that was the issue when it could be multiple other things. But me doing what I do as a professional, my skill set, the thousands of dollars worth of tools that I have, the thousands of dollars worth of scanners that I have, the access to different facilities and stuff that I have that you don't have. Now, does that mean I eat that 40 minutes of my time and then take the 20 minutes that it takes to replace that purge valve and only charge you the 20 minutes when book time says it's an hour to actually do that job? A lot of times guys make up in their diagnostic side because they've seen it so many times, they already pretty much know what it is. So they'll tell the customer, look, we're going to waive it because it only took us half an hour to find it or 15 minutes to find out what the problem was. And we're just going to go ahead and just charge you for the repair, which is an hour. Which typically it only took them 20 minutes to replace the object to begin with that they were after, and then 20 or 30 minutes to actually diagnose it. So theoretically, they're making their money for the hour that they spent on that vehicle-ish, so they know whether or not they can get by with that time frame. If it's going to be some kind of major electrical problem where a lot of stuff has to come apart, I'll throw something at you. 2018 Ford F-150 with a 5.0 liter 4x2. CTA drops the truck off in an independent shop. The independent shop says it's going to be an hour diagnostic fee. They can't find out what the problem is. It goes from the independent shop to another independent shop and then to the dealer. It comes to the dealer, and both of those other independent shops wanted to charge an hour diagnostic fee, but they couldn't figure out what was wrong with the vehicle. Comes to our dealer. We're the ones that specialize in this product, and it takes about 3.5 hours to find after pulling intake manifold, upper injector rail, lower injector rail, that injectors 1 and 3. Wait, let me do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So injectors 1 and 3 are loading that bank up with fuel. So it's taking down the low side fuel pressure test. So when you're testing your low side fuel pressure to figure out why that bank is misfiring, not only are you failing on your low system fuel pressure test, because remember it's got a low pressure pump and a high pressure pump. The low side system is failing. Why is that failing? Because the port injectors up top are fine. They're not leaking at all. The direct injectors down in the valley are pissing fluid whenever you're doing a low system test or the vehicle is running. So it's causing that whole entire bank to misfire. An hour diagnostic? Is that really a ripoff? It took 3 hours to find the problem. See what I'm saying here? You're paying for my expertise. You're paying for my knowledge. You're paying for my tools. I got to feed my kids. I got to pay my bills. I got to take care of myself. I've got to be able to advance in the industry as well. Now, I can see if you approved the job and you said, go ahead and do the work. Okay, diagnostic fee waived. I got it. Thank you for trusting me to do the work. I appreciate you. But if you choose to tell me, you know what, I'm just going to take my vehicle because I told you what your problem is, and then you take it down the road and do the work yourself, or take it to your uncle or your brother or your cousin, that's why there's a diagnostic fee. It's to secure my time that I put into your vehicle to find out what the problem is, because I know there's a chance you may take it from my shop and go somewhere else and have them fix it for cheaper. Now, I'm a dealer, $155 an hour. There's other shops in the area that are $110, $125. You want to take it to them and save a few bucks, that's fine. But that means I get my diagnostic fee. But if you're going to let me do the work, I can waive it and probably get the job done in a pretty decent amount of time, to the point where I didn't really lose anything. So diagnostic fees are not rip-offs. People that say diagnostic fees are rip-offs are the crooks themselves. You know, they're the ones that are out there looking to get something free from somebody. When you come to an establishment to do business, you go to that establishment to do business. We're not just hooking up a scanner and telling, oh, that's what it is, because the scanner said so. No, last week I had a vehicle come in. No, the video you guys seen on the Fiesta had an upstream O2 sensor code set, it had a downstream O2 sensor code set, and it had a catalytic converter code set. It took me every bit of an hour to verify that it was indeed the catalytic converter. You know what the customer said? Let us think on it. We're going to park it for a little bit. They waited a few days. They came and picked up the vehicle and took it back home with no repairs. And it's probably going to need several $1,000s worth of repairs. Not only the exhaust, the control arms, the leaks, and everything else. And it's an old vehicle that they don't really use. So they're contemplating probably getting rid of the vehicle. That diagnostic fee was secured, so when they did choose to either do the work or not do the work, I was taken care of either way. Taken care of by doing the work. If they declined it, I would get the fee, at least my hour of time. Or not doing the work, or to go ahead and do the work, I would have made up time doing the job anyway. And then you don't get charged that extra hour. So there's a pro and a con to it. The con is sometimes you get screwed out of your money, and the technician could diagnose that vehicle, and sometimes he doesn't get paid. There are some shops that just flat out do not charge diagnostic fees. They just don't do it. But if it takes a long time to get it, if it takes upwards of a half hour or more to figure out a problem on a vehicle, you need to be charged. There was a gentleman that popped up on my poll that said, if I can check the code in 5 minutes and just check over basic things, connections, fuses, things like that, I won't charge you. If it goes more than 5 minutes and I have to actually physically start getting into stuff, you're going to get charged. That's just how it is. That's business. Let's go read some of the comments real quick. So this video, this poll that I put out has 1,200 votes already in 5 hours. 64% of people said false, that it's not a ripoff, that there should be some kind of diagnostic fee because somebody's time is valuable, and we don't expect people to just work on our vehicle for free. 36% of people said it is a ripoff. Obviously, they don't know how business works, and they don't quite understand that time is valuable. And they must want other people's time for free, which it should never be that way. In AutoZone, going to AutoZone to figure out what code is present in the computer doesn't diagnose the vehicle. There's much more than some cheap $50 AutoZone scanner that gets hooked up. This is my most valuable tool right here, inside this brain, right here. My experience, expertise, knowledge, tools, and handling ability of your vehicle is what you're paying for. That's it. Now, let's look at some of the comments real quick. Indecisive says, in my opinion, difference between one diagnosis to another are greatly different things. There are some car problems that are very intricate and time consuming, and it requires great skill to hunt down the true cause of the problem. In that case, the diagnostic fee is worth its weight in gold. But if you have a simple check engine light and a scan tool is plugged in and it says MAF sensor is bad, then that only took 2 minutes to decipher and another 5 minutes to put a new one on. In that case, a diagnostic fee seems quite not so reasonable. 100% agree. Skyline FTW97. As a tech, I can say they are far from a ripoff in my experience. If they come in just for a diagnosis and I waste an hour chasing wild geese, that's an hour for which I don't get paid without it. And in order to dive deep and really find the root cause of the particular trouble, it's going to take time. It could be something that you won't find without some teardown. It could be a combination of things. You don't know until you look. It's not worth looking unless you know you're getting paid one way or another. It could take hours, and I'm still only getting paid 1 hour of diagnostic. Robert Theiss. The only issue I have with diagnostics fee is that you shouldn't be charged for it if your vehicle's under a warranty. I don't know anybody that charges a diagnostic fee if the vehicle's under warranty, factory warranty. If it's under ESP, you're going to pay some kind of fee, typically for a repair, unless you have a premium that says zero deductible. So, Robert, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but it seems like that's an inaccurate statement, because there is no fee for diagnostics if the vehicle's under warranty. Just, there's no fee. So whoever's doing that to you, take them to court. You're going to win a lot of money, because it just doesn't make sense. Okay. Crazy Cooter MN says, just because you got the diagnosis doesn't mean you need to have the tech do the work. Those generics codes can be vague. My mechanic waives the diagnostic fee if I have him do the work. 99.9% of the time, that's exactly how it works. If you let me do the work and it didn't take a ton of time to do it, I waive the diagnostic fee and I only get paid to do the job. Double Wide G says, we give the customer 5 minutes free to check fuses and visually inspect the issue. Once you can tell them it's nothing simple, then quoting diagnostic fee becomes expected. Most people appreciate the 5-minute check. Absolutely agree. OBD code read printout and conversation was always free for me. If you wanted pinpoint diagnostics, charge per hour. And if you end up getting work done, take some of the diag fee and roll it into the repair bill. Won lots of customers that way. You simply won't do all the jobs you diagnose, guys. But charging for what AutoZone does for free will do nothing but lose customers. There are more cars needing repairs than we could ever fix in 10 lifetimes. Take the wins when you can, win the customers when you can win, and most of the time you'll end up ahead. Keep wrenching, brothers. Absolutely 100%. Spot on, agree with that statement. Let's scroll down here a little bit. Mike says, well, I've spent at least an hour now searching for a sweet coolant smell leak on his own truck, and no luck. So I suppose this would be worth it for that hoist and all the fees that go along with it. The fee is $150 minimum at the dealer. In other scenarios, this could involve only plugging in a scan tool. Giving a code seems to be rich. $150 seems to be a little bit rich to me. I had a $150 diagnosis fee for my DEF pump and nozzle failure, for example, which I already knew. Have a scan tool at home. Resented that one a bit. Owning a car, maintaining it properly is expensive, I guess. They are not running a charity in there either. I'm aware of that. So at least some people do understand. And we understand as well. If it's quick, you're not going to get charged for it. But if we got to dig into it, you're going to get charged. There has to be some kind of diagnostic fee there. DHG 4 Dragon 8. Leaking evap purge is a good example. I never charge diagnostics if the valve was leaking. Just like I said, if it's easy, I can look at a PL 455, do a quick evap test, know that it's going to be about a half hour to change out the solenoid, and I'm not going to charge you an hour diagnostics. I might charge you like 0.7 or an hour total to do the job and do the diagnosis. It's more than fair. Quick says, nope, but it's a good practice to waive the diag fee if they pay for the job as long as it's not too extensive. 100% agree. There is one in here I want to get to. I want to draw some attention to. Where's he at? Where's Elmer Fudd at? I got to say something about it. All right, Mr. Elmer Fudd, since you're so negative every time you reply to any of my stuff on here, I want to bring some attention to your comment here, because it's the type of stuff that we really need to talk about. Definitely a ripoff. Definitely a ripoff. Definitely a ripoff. This is the kind of person you don't want as a customer. You would be stupid to pay the fee. This is if this is a person, if you knew they were coming, nope, sorry, you can't do business here. We don't want your kind of business here. What if you don't want the work done, or they don't find anything? Well, if we don't find anything, we're going to tell you that we don't find anything, and there's going to be no fee. It's that simple. And if you don't want the work done after we diagnose it, well, then you pay us the diagnostic fee, and you could take it to somebody else or yourself and fix it. It's that simple. Don't need you as a customer with that attitude. You're effectively paying for nothing. You're effectively paying for nothing. Well, if you're so damn good about diagnosing your own vehicle and you think everything's a ripoff, then you fix your own damn vehicles yourself, and you don't belong on an automotive app. You don't belong on a YouTube channel. You don't belong going into anybody's shop. If you just think everything's a ripoff and you got it all figured out, bud, then you can go take care of everything yourself, and we don't need your business. It's as simple as that. Those types of customers cause more problems for you in the long run than what they're worth. Those are the types of customers that you don't want coming into your business. Now, Michael replied to him, most places you pay nothing if they find. I have my own scanner, though. Absolutely correct. Dodge Sportsman replied to him and said, total BS. If they don't find the issue, most don't charge. They're not going to charge. Diag is for my time. If you go to a doctor or a lawyer, you pay their time, no matter if they heal you or defend you or not. Absolutely 100% correct. Do hospitals, Saw Miller Smith said, do hospitals charge for a diagnosis? Yes. Clinics charge a copay that depends on your insurance? Yes. Then Mr. Elmer Flood replies again, most places that want your business call it a consultation and it's free. No. You get consultations over the phone or something like that. If you're going to go sit down with somebody and take their time, it's going to be charged. But they're in hopes. Typically these companies are very, very high volume and they can afford the loss. There are also companies that will lock you into something that if they don't fix it or they don't defend you or protect you, you're screwed anyway. There's nothing you can do, and you're still going to owe money because they have lawyers that are much bigger than you. It's not even the same thing. Okay. I had to reply to him. Your comment sounds like you're pissed off, and it sounds like every other comment you've left here on the channel. You're just out for you, and nobody else. And that's the type of customer you don't want coming to your business. I'll cover this tonight whenever I do my video, and I'll probably use your comment as a main focal point on what not to be when you go to a shop, because that's how you get asked not to come back, because you're being an asshole about things, and that's just facts. When you get a customer like that, you don't want that customer returning, because they're going to be a customer that's never satisfied, they're never going to be okay with the work, and they're always going to have an issue with what you do, and they're always going to be looking for handouts. There's a reason for a diagnostic fee, and we've beat a dead horse tonight on this topic. We've covered a lot of good stuff here in scenarios. This should be something that you think of from now on. It's a long video. Yes, it could have been shortened, but this needed to be said. Y'all be blessed. Take care, and we will be live tonight, Power Stroke Tech Talk with A-Rod, covering Power Stroke 6-7 stuff, Super Duty stuff in previous, not just 6-7, Super Duties. Tonight, 8 p.m. Central Time, Power Stroke Tech Talk with A-Rod. Y'all get over there and check us out. Be blessed.